Daddy Longneck Gang, and shout out to Red Light Crew.
Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
Yeah, you know what? To find that better, I think the key there is... Zero cat. I just lost my trend of thought.
Oh, that's so good. This opening is becoming epic. Do you know what that is, Chalmers?
I have no idea. No.
So Bob Nicholson, whom you may know as the Phantom CEO of the OEG, goes on Gregor's show at the end of the season to explain nothing. And during the call, gets a call from Daryl Cates.
Yeah.
But he's got his phone set to old man mode, so it reads the name off of whoever's calling. So literally on the air, it's like, Daryl Katz. And then he completely boggles the football and can't remember what he's talking about.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought listening to that.
Oh, that's good.
That was unreal.
Daryl Katz.
Well done.
Katz. Good job.
I was excited when he played it for me upstairs. I was excited for you guys to hear it.
Because you cut Daddy Longneck short, so I was getting offended. I'm like, what? And then Jared put the just wait. And then...
I can't wait to re-listen to that, knowing what it was.
Oh, it's good. Daryl Katz.
Oh, yeah.
You can't make this shit up. Real Life Podcast. What episode are we at? 4 million?
117, my friend.
Oh, my favorite Oiler was 117.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chalmers, that was a test for you. You failed. Oilers
I'd like
can't
to
have
see
3 digits in their numbers. That's impossible.
I'd like to see it, though.
A 3-digit number?
Yeah, man.
Wow. Maybe down the road when every number's been retired.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Or a letter.
They could charge more for jerseys. They'd have to sell more. You know what I mean?
Trillennials don't want to be numbers. They want to be letters. What are you? What number do you play for the Habs? I'm a Q.
Yeah, I'm pi.
Oh, God.
I never thought I'd see 00 when we saw that. I mean, it's in basketball and stuff.
These NBA guys have no respect.
God.
Well, there was NHL players that wore 0. Neil Sheehy wore 0.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. There's another guy, too. Patrick Dubé or somebody from the Rangers wore 0 back in the 70s, too. It was a freer time then. We didn't have herpes and everyone was banging,
Yeah.
0. I'll tell you, speaking of the 70s, speaking of a throwback, speaking of shit you never thought you'd see again in your life. Oh, the Masters. Eldrick Tiger Woods putting on his 1998 pants and coming out and kicking the dick off the field on Sunday.
Yeah, that was I was just so into it. Like, it was like, the guy, like the whole story. Obviously, there's a lot of story there. And the fact that he, it was 2 years ago, like the decision was like, will I be able to walk?
Yeah.
Let alone golf. And like, God, that guy just got iron will determination.
I think he's one of the mentally toughest athletes ever.
Has to be.
The effort that it took for him to come back from being a rich, crippled guy, I think was larger than it took to get him good in the first place.
100%. Because he had, he's got a bionic back now.
Yeah.
Everything's fused together. Yeah. You can tell, he's had to change his swing to accommodate that. So, like, he's had to make all these adjustments and still able to perform at the highest level. Yeah. It's insane. I guess I saw an interview with him yesterday, or there was yesterday. I saw it this morning. And now his big thing is he's battling stiffness all the time.
Oh, is that why he had to get up so early?
Yeah, he probably
the
does. And just get really warm. And if you notice, he always starts kind of slow. Like, he doesn't like at least from the Masters, like he wasn't like lighting the world on fire in the first 6 holes, but then like after kind of like he escapes that gravity, he's a little bit looser and he can get it going.
Damn. Chalmers, you have a list of his injuries.
So in the past 9 years, since his last US Open win, in 2010, he had a neck injury, which stopped him from playing. 2011 was a sprained MCL and Achilles. In 2012, he had an Achilles injury. 2014, 15, and 17, he had back surgery.
3 times in 4 years?
Yeah, 3 times in 4 years. And then this year, he wins the Masters.
What about in 2009, the broken jaw, huh?
Yeah, what about his personal life?
Huh?
At least that went smooth.
What about the driver to the teeth?
Let's keep it real right now. We got to just...
Allegedly.
Yeah. We got to say that that's what started this whole downslide.
Oh, no question.
Well, there's a direct correlation.
Did you not notice that everybody steered very, very clear of saying anything about that yesterday?
I saw...
Until Bob Weeks came on, and Bob Weeks was kind of gently, like, talked about it.
Yeah, like, brought out, like...
It was good.
Like,
you had to. I mean, respect it, right? Like, it's 10 years ago.
You don't think the stable's full again?
Wow, his last DUI was, for sure. You see the girlfriend in the side, like, clapping her hands, like, girl, I hope you went into this for monogamy.
Yeah. She understands the arrangement.
if you look at a guy like Tiger Woods and you look at how much he's overcome, like, man, he's mentally tough. Like, just the embarrassment of everyone knowing, like, he got a DUI on Percocets like 2.5, 3 years ago. Remember?
Yeah.
Pulled over by the side of the road sleeping.
Well, that's stuff. Anytime you Google Tiger Woods, that's like the first photo that shows up.
And he was like OEG times 100 for like privacy and walls up. And like, he'd been Tiger Woods since he was 8 years old. So to have those walls come crashing down like they did and expose, like, all your porn star mistresses are flipping on you for cash to TMZ and shit. Like, what a fucking disaster of a life.
Do you know anybody that's gone through something like that over a 10-year span and had that much fanfare for them to be back and win?
And still,
and like people wanted him to. Like I was talking to you before this. When we started watching it yesterday morning, it was obviously on earlier and we had the TV on. By about the 12th hole, I knew that it was starting to transcend like normal sports when my wife stopped doing what she was doing and just started watching the Masters. And by like the 14th hole, she was, Googling everything, just reading up on what the last 10 years was like, because I couldn't answer everything and I didn't want to. And
and I didn't want to, frankly, because I was trying to enjoy my Sunday off.
Yeah, exactly. It got her so involved into it that she was, knowing everything, actively rooting hard for him. And she's like, she always roots for underdogs. She's like, historically, if there's two teams playing or, a golfer, it's underdogs for her. That's all she cares about. And like, I guess he's the ultimate underdog at this point, but he wasn't really. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Underdog in the sense of like what he's overcome, but like when you saw him playing in the tournament, you're like, this isn't like an underdog. Like this is we're watching Tiger Woods.
That's what I mean. So he wasn't your typical underdog, but people, even knowing his history, were like rooting hard for him. And I tried to figure out why that is, like why everybody just, was so on his side, so
well, they say
happy
like
for
the
him.
States, especially as a culture, like they like to build you up to tear you down.
Yeah.
So everybody who goes up, no matter how high you get, you're coming down equally far, but they also love the bounce back story. Right?
Yeah.
And it plays into human emotions of like, it was a very strange thing for me to watch, right? Because I used to love Tiger Woods. There was an appointment made at an Edmonton tattoo parlor in 1998 where I was going to get a Tiger Woods logo tattooed on my arm.
Like the TW from his hat?
Yeah. And fortunately, I pussed out because I was in grade 12 and I was like, maybe this isn't what I want to look like at university. Or I would have been walking around with the damn Tiger Woods logo on my arm for the last who knows how long.
Oh, but you're paying dividends now, though.
Yeah, now I'd be like, see, redemption.
Yeah.
But then,
I remember you had more Tiger Woods memorabilia than anybody I knew, to the point where you had a full Wheaties box with Tiger Woods on the front of it, like on a shelf in your room.
Cardboard
You spent
cutout.
like when you would get extra money and you worked at a golf shop back in the day, you would buy Tiger Woods memorabilia that you shouldn't be buying.
No. When I lost all my money when I was 24 and then got all my money back when I was 25, the first thing I did with money was run to Wayne Sports Cards near the mall. And I was like, I need something very expensive of Tiger Woods, please. And the guy was like, stay right here, guy who doesn't understand money. And he brought me out this like massive Upper Deck card. And Upper Deck was, I don't know if they still do it. I mean, who cares? They blew all my money then. But they had these giant cards of golfers that were autographed. And this was like the super card you could get that year.
Mm-hmm.
And a pack of cards was like $50. And I was like, I'll take it. And then I'm like, Tiger, you son of a... I'll never forget being the same place where I watched him win the Masters, the first one.
Yeah.
Was where I watched his press conference where he hastily took his tie off before the camera started rolling to look cool. But like the collar was all janky. And I was like, he couldn't even get his collar right. It's weird, the passage of time. It's weird to watch the side-by-side where he comes off the 18th green and hugs Earl. Because like at the time, I don't know, you guys, I was like so into the story. I'm like, holy shit, and his dad is like this fucking Svengali type. And this guy's got I remember Earl saying he was going to have a bigger cultural impact than Gandhi. Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, he's every race. Holy shit, he can hit a ball 300 yards with no graphite shaft. And then to see him 22 years later, I, of course, haven't aged a day, hugging his kids is just bizarre.
Yeah, man, did he look good when he was playing though yesterday, hey? Like just the walking forward, that little slide after that putt on 14.
The slide. Love it.
We texted like right after on our group, just fuck, do you see that slide? Like it just brought back.
He brings like his mannerisms, his energy, like the fire, like when he put in the final putt.
I so badly wanted him to hit the longer putt on 18 because I felt like he would have like done the point,
finger
the
gun?
walk. Oh God, that one is the best.
Yeah.
Or else the like prolonged fist bump as he's walking towards the ball is my second favorite one. So I wanted it so bad, but
The tee shot on 12 made all that hair on my arm stand up. The par 3.
yeah. Oh
once
yeah.
his tits dunked it.
Oh yeah.
And then he hit it and then played the ridge and it rolled right down and close.
Well,
Like,
did you also see the John Rahm, Justin Thomas thing? Like they put that pin there like every time or something because these guys know exactly what that's doing, right?
Oh,
so
really?
John Rahm like put it 3 inches away, and then Justin Thomas went and
That's on 16.
rode the ridge. Oh, was
That's
it 16?
Yeah, 16
Oh,
is the
okay,
one
I'm talking
where you
about-
ride the
yeah,
the-
sorry.
Like Tiger played that perfectly. 12 is
Yeah,
where
par 3.
Francesco and Finau
Oh,
both
dunked it.
Dunked
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and then
Sorry.
He like stuck it.
Yeah.
And it rolled.
Were you cheering for that dunk?
No, I was
Were
like,
you
I
happy?
was. No, I wasn't
I
fully involved.
wasn't expecting it, but when it happened, I was cheering.
I have to say I was cheering.
I wasn't
And-
watching the Masters because I do not give one shit
Oh,
about
really?
professional golf. And I watched 16, 17, 18 though. And that's what you talk about transcend sports, right? Like
Yeah.
I was doing something else and I was like, I'm going to check Twitter and see what's going on. Oh, look at what's happening. Fuck.
So here's a stat for you. Did you know that obviously yesterday it was pushed way forward for rating for weather, right?
Yeah.
They had to get it done before the weather rolled in. So it was like it felt like watching the British Open, like Jared said earlier, just because it was on so early in the morning. Well, that was the highest broadcast, highest rated broadcast for golf event this year, and the rebroadcast in its normal time was the second
Wow.
highest rated
It might be
golf
onto
broadcast
something.
this year.
I loved it
I thought it was cool
because it was
I mean,
all wrapped up at 12:30, and like so I got up from like 8 until 12:30.
But we were talking about this, so like playing groups of, three
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I
might
like
be better, but
yeah.
then the sponsor's going to be pissed because there's way less
Yeah.
commercial time.
So they'll have to like find new ways to make it work for sponsors. But like in terms of spectator, yeah, like there was so much action because when there's 3 guys in a group,
go.
there's just so much happening at any given moment. They always have stuff to go back to.
yeah.
It was really weird to watch it though because I haven't been paying attention. First of all, Tiger playing a Bridgestone ball. That's a little bit
Dude,
strange.
Monster Energy is
when
his big sponsor.
When it stopped right before the hole on that big putt,
oh yeah,
my wife even was like, "He's playing Bridgestone. What logo is that? Why isn't that a Nike?" And I honestly, I forgot that they stopped making equipment
tires.
2
Start
years
making
ago.
balls and clubs
Yeah.
because of Tiger, right?
Yeah,
And like Rory McIlroy, like Tiger Woods golf is being handed off to Rory McIlroy, and Rory McIlroy just signed a bigger deal than Tiger ever did with Nike. It was really weird because I do not care hearing the announcers explain how like the field of younger kids on steroids has caught Tiger in every single. What's this guy Konopka? What's his name?
oh
Brooks-
Brooks Koepka.
Brooks Koepka.
They're like, this guy dominates a golf course like Brooks Koepka. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I don't know who anybody is, and I don't care.
He's wicked, man. He's got Tiger's back.
Yeah, he's got Tiger's back, and
He
that
did a-
guy also, if he wanted to be a tight end for the New England Patriots,
Oh, yeah.
he could be.
Always jacked up.
You know what I don't
God, he's a
understand is
unit.
And okay, so I have a real problem with golf fashion right now. I don't understand. These guys are all jacked and they look great. They wear really tight shirts, great. Tight pants.
It's a weird
But then
conversation.
they're-
Bag no
okay,
thoughts.
but just then their shoes look like clown shoes. They've got these huge shoes on.
What's the size of their
Go
feet?
No, but golf shoes are like extra clunky to begin with, right? Like they always have been because you got to swing out of them. Obviously, they got to have protection. But like I don't know, man. It just looks weird. Like if you go and look at like Tony Finau, it just is super unproportionate. And he wears the Jordans too. Did you see the Jordans?
Those are Jordans.
Those are Jordans. Oh yeah. Well, they're based off like a Jordan, right?
They're
got
an Air
the-
Max, don't they? They look like an Air Max to me.
Well, then they got the Jordan, whatever it is, the
Jumpman?
speckle look at the bottom.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I don't get it. The shoes are way too big. Make some tighter fitting shoes. These guys are gonna be wearing schmediums all over the course.
Schmedium.
Schmedium shirts and schmedium pants.
I respect that Tiger brought out the collarless golf shirt. I remember being at the club and wearing one and them stopping me and being like, nope. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? This is Nike Golf says it right here.
We
in the
couldn't
tag.
wear those,
And
eh?
they were like, And I was like, I swear to God, I bought this at Golf Town. They're like, too bad for you, Anya.
You think those are gonna sell out right now?
Yep.
I think everything's selling out. And it's also interesting to think about how it's different watching golf in 1997 for his first Masters win, in 2019 for his last one. Like the amount of global searches about Tiger, the amount of times all the articles are being read about him that's been published in the last 5 years. Like there was probably like a super resurgence,
Yeah.
like a Money Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
Where everybody in the world stops what they're doing and watches boxing. And 1997, you'd be like, well, I hope the newspaper that comes out every fortnight makes mention of this golf win. Like different world.
You think Tiger's gonna there's gonna be more sponsorships coming towards him? You think about the 5 big sponsors that dropped him after his scandal?
It's like Tag Heuer,
Buick, Tag Heuer, Gatorade, Gillette, and AT&T.
They all dropped him.
They all dropped him.
Oh, now he's got like.
Do you think they're going to come back?
Monster Energy, guns.
Well, like, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think he just is going to say, no, I don't want any more?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't want to have to go through this again?
He didn't need. I don't think he needs the dough, even though Elon got a cool $400 million. I don't think that Tiger Woods wants to return to the life of old Tiger Woods.
He just wants to win.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's not about and there'll be new deals. It'll be, Dollar Shave Club or something.
Yeah.
It'll be something else that gets Tiger.
I like Monster Energy stepping up and be like, we can work with this.
Sure, we'll find a way.
I'm amazed that Perkins isn't his head sponsor. Thank you and good night. Bag Milk, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of his old life, and it seemed pretty sweet to me.
Yeah, it sure did.
You know what I mean?
Well, he still got
I
the
do know
money
exactly.
from all that.
Private jets and
Oh, he's
flying
still-
around.
oh, he's
and
still
all of a
doing
sudden,
that.
There's a lady in the lobby. There's another upstairs.
Still doing it.
All right.
And there's 5 he hasn't met still.
It's just
waiting for him to serve him some breakfast.
It's just the goodbye gift basket now has a tall can of Monster.
Could you make a case? That's good. That's a good joke. The only thing Tiger Woods did wrong was get married.
Yeah, it was probably the machine that told him to do it.
Well, and like there's a lot of exposés on Tiger that go deep into his life, and it's unfair in a lot of instances.
Yeah.
But Derek Jeter, with his gift baskets,
Yep.
banged his way through most of the earth. And no one cares.
waited till way later, till he just got
Way
out of his
later.
system to get married.
Exactly. And like, I don't think that society is like as unforgiving of like a promiscuous person as they are a cheater. And like the spectacular, I remember when the word broke, like Tiger Woods drove an Escalade into a fire hydrant in his gated community in Florida. And you're like, what? What? It got louder and louder and louder and louder.
Sex, man, it's undefeated again.
Sex is undefeated?
It's undefeated. Think about anybody that has sex is undefeated, man. Like it's just, it always gets people in shit.
Jared, can we call this one sex is undefeated? That's cool. That's cool. That's an interesting point.
Yeah, if you do shit motivated by sex and you have something to lose because of it, most likely you will lose it, I think.
It was either that or Twitter was going to get him, you know?
Yeah.
One of the two.
Huh. That's interesting. Is it ready to break time? What's going on here? What the fuck's happening? Yeah. Break. Back milk. You got something to say?
Not this time.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Must have been a big Masters weekend
So
over at the
Monster
Bag Milk
Energy,
House.
hey?
I was-
Monster Energy.
I was watching 1997's Face Off while this was all going down.
The
John
one where they
Travolta,
actually
Nick
peel
Cage.
each other's faces off.
Oh, you betcha.
Oh my God.
You betcha.
How good is that movie?
Oh, it's fantastic. I was enjoying myself. I was
Is there a hockey
watching
scene
everybody's
in that?
tweeting about the Masters. Here I am watching John Travolta and Nick Cage go head to head.
Wait, isn't there a hockey scene in that?
yeah, penguins.
Is it Penguins and
They're in the
Islanders?
igloo.
I don't know. Did Face Off? I don't think we're talking about the same movie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Face off.
I think it's sudden death with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh,
no,
what?
no, it's one where he
no,
sees
no.
him from across like the
Face Off.
There is hockey. No, there's
There is
hockey.
hockey.
No,
in
no,
Face
no.
Off.
Not in Face Off, man. I just watched this yesterday.
Face off.
Yeah,
Face off.
you must have flipped over to the Masters for
Yeah.
like 5
Are you
minutes.
sure you
and
didn't
missed
see
the
Tiger
hockey.
stuff?
we gotta check this out at the very.
I thought that maybe we are
Yeah.
thinking of.
Sudden Death definitely has a hockey scene.
Jean-Claude Van Damme in net and he does the splits.
I thought
There's
there was
also
like
that movie
a
where
fight
there was like
scene
a
in the
bomb.
crowd or something, or there's like a bomb in the igloo.
Yeah, that's a different movie. Yeah. No,
I was with you. Jeff.
Why did we all collectively merge those two movies?
I don't know, man.
Oh, it's collective insanity.
Just hold on. Which movie has penguins bomb?
It's like everyone thinking about the Bernstein Bears, a Mandela effect. We just experienced a Mandela effect. We'll be back after this to talk about what that means.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
Yeah, the voice of this ad arrives on Wednesday.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How long are they staying?
8 days.
Their baby moon.
Jesus.
The quick one.
8 days from Australia to Edmonton.
Yeah, baby moon before Ursi can't travel anymore.
Maybe we should get one done in an Aussie accent instead of Josh trying to.
Crikey, you tried to take your equipment across the
over to Japa.
You can build a you-know-what, you-know-where with one of these.
JR, that was not Australia.
I know, I got all
pretty
fucking
close.
caught up. Sorry.
Plus, it's
It was in the ballpark.
Okay.
Speaking of mistakes,
Yes.
I didn't drop a C.
You guys made me feel like I didn't watch 1997's face-off for
You
3
didn't.
hours yesterday.
You would have saw that distinct scene
Hold
in
on,
the igloo.
that
Which
movie's
I also
3
remember.
hours?
Exactly.
well, it was on TV, so like you had to mix in
commercials and
commercials.
And then
all that.
Mario Lemieux stops
How-
at center ice and goes, "Whoa,
At what
is that your face on another dude's face?"
At what point, when you're watching a 3-hour movie on TV, do you go and check and see if it's on demand? And will you pay for it just to speed
I've
it
seen
up?
Face Off I probably have it on DVD. I have it on Laserdisc at my old man's house.
Oh.
I've seen it a bunch of
so you
times.
were rich.
It was on.
Hey,
it was
rich.
on. I'm just throwing it on. But what you guys were talking about is what Jared said was 1995's Sudden Death, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, where
The
there was a
one and
bomb
only.
at the igloo, and he had to solve it. A former fireman takes on a group of terrorists holding the vice president and others hostage during the 7th game of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Game 7.
That's face off.
Disrespectful to the game is what that is.
100%. Crosby wouldn't have taken that for sure.
Speaking of the
Speaking
damn
of Crosby, 0 puentes.
I think it's fair to ask if he's even a generational player at all. Where are you at, Sid? Come on, buddy.
I don't know. I haven't watched the playoffs. You know what I did watch last week? 4 different documentaries on Princess Anne. Did you know that she's Charles' slutty sister?
Hey now.
And she used to go to this weird island in the Caribbean with a gangster from London. And then there was a photo of them together. And the gangster had a shirt that said, "Enjoy cocaine, like enjoy Coca-Cola." And then when that shit hit the fan, whoo-hoo, England's society, my friends, was never the same. God, I miss the Oilers.
Yeah, you can't be a royal wearing hanging out with a dude with an enjoy cocaine
I
shirt.
miss the Oilers so much.
Yeah.
Even no Oilers, sorry, even bad Oilers is better than no Oilers.
I miss Connor doing Connor things.
Yeah.
Although now he's at Professor Wem's golf having a good time working
Hey.
on a short game. I bet perfect 18. That was his score at the end of the day. 18.
Yes, yeah. I'm just happy he's walking around.
I like that he had a scorecard.
Yeah,
I like
oh,
that
yeah.
the photo of him is him like, "All right, Lauren, what'd you have? 2. No, you had 3. Okay, 3.
Don't kid yourself. He asked before he teed off at Professor Wim's, what's the course record?
Can we talk about something about him actually going to the mall and playing mini golf?
Sure, if you'd like. It's a
Couple
breakdown.
questions. Couple questions.
Hit us.
Number 1, do you think they shut the course down for him?
No.
No.
There was people in front of him in the photo.
Okay.
I think it attracts more attention if they shut the
Number
golf course.
2, does he know that there's a glow ball golf course upstairs that's way more private?
Arguably better as well.
Arguably better, like way better.
But Professor Wem's is in need of
So do you think
of an update?
Do you think they invited him?
No.
No, he probably didn't know about the Glow Golf Chalmers. He probably needed some guidance there. But like Professor Wem's needs an overhaul because there are some trap holes there that there is no way you can keep the ball on the green stuff. You're in the fake rock bunker.
For the amount of like renovations that mall does in segments, it is shocking that
They forget
that
about
golf
the
course has
professor.
been the same.
Remember, didn't it used to be called
25
Pebble
years.
Beach Golf Course? It did. It was,
Yeah.
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 It
But
did.
It was Fantasyland and
They're just like, we're stomping on everyone's trademarks.
yeah. It used to be called Pebble Beach.
Yeah,
That's right.
Pebble
It used to be
Beach.
called Pebble Beach. Now it's St. Andrews. And I don't know why you keep telling
Yeah.
me to change the name again.
Why are you suing me? Augusta National? Tiger went from there to local. And I know this because I got...
Tiger did.
Connor, the other Tiger Woods of hockey, he went to local on Jasper Avenue and was playing bocce ball.
Yeah.
And I got photos sent to me there. And then he ended the night at a local watering hole I like to call The Pint, where he enjoyed a quick drink with friends and then left out the back door because people were getting wild. Connor is enjoying himself.
Yeah.
As he should. The
He should.
best thing for me, at least in my head, I hope, that this injury just lets him chill for a bit.
Just a little bit. Just
I
have
agree.
a little ounce of fun.
He doesn't need Gary Roberts yelling at him like he's trying to make it into the friggin' draft. You know what I mean? Like,
But he wants that though.
yes, but let's use Tiger Woods as a proxy.
Yeah.
If you just keep tripling down on pressuring on yourself, eventually you'll snap. Next thing you know, you're training to be a Navy SEAL. You got no business training to be a Navy
Well,
SEAL.
I'm pretty sure Connor also isn't juggling all the side balls that
Of course
Tiger was.
not.
Sometimes
So-
you gotta let the poison out. I don't know, man. I think it's best for Connor to just chill, unplug,
Yeah.
reset the router.
Yeah, go to play bocce.
What is cool is that he stays here though. Like most guys,
he
don't they
has
just
to now.
get the
He's
hell
got-
out of
He
town?
had to. He had to stay under team kind of supervision while he's getting all his assessments and stuff.
This is something I would like to talk about for an organization that, as recently as 2 weeks ago, said they were going to be way more open and accountable with us. The statement that they made on Twitter
9
about-
p.m. on a Friday.
after
They're trying
talking
like,
to
slide
doctors,
it.
after talking to doctors, we've agreed that there's medical protocols established. Then the Kings come out and give us the old weird flex, but okay, dunking on us. And then you see Lucic walking around with crutches. This is not an organization that's telling us anything.
So the exact tweet, Wanye, if you will, was update, all caps. The Oilers medical staff, in collaboration with top orthopedic specialists, have determined a rehabilitation protocol for Connor McDavid, which begins immediately. How do you
This
like that
is
for
so
transparency?
stupid.
Soak up the details, people.
What about the other guy? The guy who's assigned for all the millions that was ill-advised that we try to pretend never happened. Well, we're not talking about him until somebody sees him leaving the Royal Glenora on crutches.
They basically just said that they have a plan, but they won't tell us the plan.
Which
But
is
what
also
do
a
they
callback
always
to
tell
the-
plans? Like,
What's that?
I'm kind of on the outside of this one looking in. And
Yeah,
so
it's
I'd
not like
like
you're
you
on
to
a
explain
podcast
something
that
to
you
me.
show up to once every 8 weeks.
No, yeah. Well, but no, on the McDavid thing, not on the podcast
I'm
thing.
saying if you came to the podcast more,
Yeah, I've been busy, man.
well, hey, fair enough, man. I wrote one article in the last 3 years.
And
So
it's a
that
good one.
Monday, Chalmers, to catch you up, the
Yes.
Monday immediately before this, Bob Nicholson sat in front of a room full of people and said that the Oilers, as an organization, were going to be more transparent with their fans and the media, let them behind to see what's going on. Fast forward 6 days, and that was your update on the best player on the fucking planet. And
This guy, sorry.
I
Go ahead.
get that teams are more secretive during the season. That I get, kind of. But the season's done, and we're talking about Connor McDavid. And this, they've got a plan, but you're not allowed to know it.
We're also talking about Milan Lucic, who dollar for dollar couldn't be having less of an impact on the team if he was gone.
$1 million a goal, Wanye.
And they won't even tell us that he's on crutches.
No.
Well,
God
hey,
forbid we tip our hand and expose Milan Lucic to be not a top performer.
that's why the Oilers signed Reeder, is to make Lucic's million per goal look good.
Did they?
So we paid $2 million for zero.
Yep.
True.
That's what he was there. He was supposed to be a buffer.
That's the ROI you dream of.
Yeah.
So
Really
the
wish-
accountability is still not there.
Transparency, non-existent.
There's transparent as a brick wall. Chalmers, thoughts?
I just wish we would have made that bet on the Toby Reeder goal. I think I definitely said no.
I said yes for sure. I just
said
thought,
I think it was that side of the table
way
versus this side.
that
Me
he
and
wasn't
Wanye
going to
said
do it.
zero. Just one had to go off him somehow, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I was right. And if you guys remember correctly, my silver bullet went to one Bobby Nix. And I still stand by that. You can't disagree with me at this point.
Your aim.
Yeah.
I like your aim.
My whole philosophy behind that was, who is the man underneath Daryl Cates right now? That guy needs to go. Because,
Physically underneath?
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's how he keeps his job.
Allegedly, in your opinion.
Searing.
I don't even know what
It's okay, man. No one's
going on
listening.
with him.
These cords aren't plugged in.
It's just super weird that, like I said, best player on the planet, season's over. We all saw Connor with his giant brace.
Yep.
So what's going on, man? It wasn't until guys like Gregor tweet the next morning that we actually got an update. For 12, 13 hours, there was just nothing.
Well, how about the fact that they signed Paul Coffey to an undetermined contract of duties TBD for $500,000 and had to fire the family liaison officer who helps Oilers families when they're in Edmonton.
Who arguably, in my opinion, is one of the most important members of the team.
Say that again. Helps him do what, though?
Just like, oh,
nowhere
hi,
to go,
I'm
get
here,
hotels.
I'm Koskinen, my wife, my kid.
Yeah.
He's finished.
Oh,
Can I
helps
make
him
him go to
get,
grade
like-
3?
Helps you
gets find some schools and shit.
Get set up
Oh.
schools, yeah.
Get some schools and stuff
Yep.
like that. They fired
Considering we have a player on our team who clearly has never been comfortable here, that's a pretty fucking important
pulled you?
part. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they do need to be fired because Poole wasn't
That's a
integrated
full-time
properly.
job just with him.
Well, it should be. It should be like, what's his nuts, Barzal, getting a bloody life coach hired by the
Yeah.
Islanders who doesn't even come to the arena, just helps him with life.
Yeah, the Islanders hired somebody for Barzal to help him with nutrition, his money, being a pro, all the things you would expect a 19-year-old not to know.
So is this just a bunch of old men being like, come on, this is soft. These kids should be able to figure this shit out themselves?
Probably, I would assume.
Three
so.
guys eating the giant bowl of pasta saying, what? You don't
Like,
carve
heaven
up?
forbid they should look at new ways of doing things when fucking everything's been broken for so long.
Here's what drives me nuts about this. Paul Coffey comes to town 2 seasons ago at the end of the year, remember? And
It
it's
was
like,
last season, I think. Yeah.
no, I think it was 2. Bag Milk, you know everything.
2, yeah. It was like
was
around
after the playoffs.
He was here all
January
year.
or something.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't our playoff year. It was.
And he went to, I think it was like a golf tournament, and he was talking to people, like this wasn't secret, and he was like, I do not know what I'm doing here. I don't know what they want me to do, but they want me to go home, and I think he had to sell his car dealerships, because he had car dealerships, and he was coaching his kid or something. They want me to go home and clear the schedule. I have no idea what I'm doing here. $500,000 for next year to sit around ostensibly and do God knows what. He was never on the ice. He was
early when they first brought him on. You saw him like
last year. I didn't see him on skates.
No, not at all.
I just remember a
you
picture
say
with
last
him
year,
and
you mean
Dad.
the season that just ended,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Okay, I got an idea.
Go ahead, Chalmers.
I am going to put my hat in the ring, and I will do it for free. I will be the family liaison if they contact me.
Nice.
I know the city.
Yeah.
I know where people want to live.
It's true.
I know how to make people come. I know what schools to get into.
You
I
speak
know how to
Finnish?
do this shit. I'll find somebody who can.
learn.
It can't be that hard to find somebody who speaks Finnish. Jay knows a bunch of them. They were just here.
I know how to chant. Yeah, I'll bring a bunch of your buddies over. I know I can
If
help.
it's gonna
Chalmers,
help
'cause
this
I know where all
team,
the
how-
Arby's are that are still open. That we can
And then
take to.
I'm going to
That's-
advise them against eating that.
No,
Whoa.
no. Gotta have cheat days.
Is this a lady? That's the Lady Gaga of food.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that teen
Arby's.
in you.
Zing.
Oh wow!
Well,
It
here
is
come
really?
the tears.
You
I
do
don't
not
know.
like Arby's?
Have you guys ever had roast beef from Costco out of the packages of like just straight up roast beef that's just sandwich meat and put it on a bun? It is far superior to what an Arby's sandwich is like.
I don't generally go to a grocery store looking to recreate the Arby's experience.
Okay, this is
I'm
what
just
we're
kidding.
doing. Honestly,
I'm just kidding because
blind
I'm just trying to
taste
rile
test.
you up.
Next
I
episode,
just- I'm just trying to rile
next
you up.
episode,
Blind
we're
taste.
fucking
You know
bringing in
I love
some
Arby's.
roast beef. Oh, you do?
I'm
Oh.
doing this for two reasons. One to rile you up, and one to
Well, you
rile.
brought Lady Gaga into it too. Like, Jesus.
No. Because I just knew I knew what I was doing.
Controversy.
Yeah, for controversy. It's all just content. And the other person in my life right now will know what that's about. I'm actually doing some work for somebody who might have a stake in some Arby's.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, so
You
it
gotta
brought
hype
it brought it to the show. It showed both sides. Now I'm gonna say, actually, love me some Arby's. The curly fries are the best.
Oh,
Of course.
the best fries in the game.
I'm not
What are
gonna
you
lie.
talking about?
I think the sauce is not like I could eat the sandwiches plain. The sauce. Some
The
people
cheese
love
sauce?
it. No, the dipping
red
sauce.
sp-
The
the
red,
sauce?
the
The
red
horsey.
sauce.
Oh, you never use Arby's sauce. It is horsey sauce only.
What's horsey sauce?
It's like mayonnaise horseradish.
I'll tell you what, it's not. Yeah, it's not horseradish.
and it's
Nah,
not
when
mayonnaise.
I eat my Arby's, I just eat it plain.
Yeah, no plain. I'm fine with plain.
Yeah.
You're a traditionalist.
I'm not a
traditionalist.
beef and cheddar guy. A lot of people like the beef and cheddars. The cheddar
It's hit or miss.
doesn't necessarily agree with me.
Doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, we have a disagreement.
I see what she's okay.
We have a disagreement.
Well, very good. Anyways, okay, back to it. We could definitely help this team. If that's what it took to help this team, I would go find houses. I don't even have to meet these guys. I'm not like I want to talk to them that much. I'll just help them.
They
Be like,
need it,
look,
man.
here's the South Side. It's beautiful.
They
This is
need
a
it.
beautiful school.
When you have botched a first pick overall in Nail Yakupov and a fourth pick overall in Jesse Puljujärvi, and we won't say he's fully botched, but we'll say he's halfway out the chute,
Slightly botched at the moment.
not taking care of 18-year-old kids who are coming to town and fighting with a huge culture shock has an extraordinarily high price.
Yeah.
And if you're like, well, let's fire the family liaison officer. Anybody else taking care of these people on a mental health basis? What? No. Okay. Good job, fellas.
crazy.
It's not like you're the losingest team of the last 13 years. No. History will prove us correct. It's like Principal Skinner. Remember? And he's like, am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are out of touch. We've reached Principal Skinner levels of ineptitude.
I just can't think of anything easier for them to do. Do you remember how dumb you were when you were 18? Because I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine going to another just like now you're in Spain. Enjoy. You're
And
like,
give that
"What?"
person money.
Yeah, and that's it's harder to do with money.
Yeah, lots.
Oh,
of money.
sure.
Right? If you're like, oh, I'm backpacking and I'm at school in Spain and father sends me $200 every fortnight. I assume that's how rich kids talk. It's not that hard. But when you're like of your own money and you're there and they're like, every 2 weeks you get 114 grand, son. Like, oh, okay. I guess I'm going to go get me a Lambo every 21 days.
Hell yeah.
And rent. I mean, I think I'd have to look into this.
And it's
Is it
one
better for a
thing-
player to rent or buy?
I would. I'd rent. I'd rent
I think
for
I'd rent, too.
probably until I signed my 8-year deal.
Yeah,
I'd rent.
Then you build.
Makes sense.
But how are people, and I wrote an article, Chalmers. I know you don't read the site or listen to the podcast.
The culture one.
Oh.
I read it.
Like,
Critically acclaimed.
yeah, it went over okay. How people, like, you have a $600 million business, and your key employees are generally like 19 to 26, and they have on average like a 3.5-year career. You think you would just be like, we need to get really, really, really good at making sure that kids like this feel comfortable, and we need to make sure that everybody who is playing for this team feels like they're playing for something larger than themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just turned on their own volition into the streets. And you're just like, well, good luck, fuckface. If you're Milan Lucic and your dad passes away, fuck you.
It's just called taking care of your investments, isn't it? Like, is that not the simplest?
Lucic and Larson have both lost their dads in the last, 2 years?
Luch was before he came to Edmonton.
Okay, but it was the summer before he came.
I don't know. It might have been even longer.
Recently.
Okay.
Recent enough.
Yeah.
Did they get any mental health support from the Oilers? I can assure you they did not. None. And like, if so much of sports is contingent on you being in a positive headspace, if you could take care of all the Oilers with like 24/7 mental health and squeeze 5% more out of an $83 million roster because people aren't in their own heads quite as badly and guys in slumps are getting help and blah, 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 blah. And instead they go the other way. They're like, no, we're just going to get Paul Coffey in here because he'll know what to do.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I think doesn't every team now have like a mental health coach, and what do they call them? Like
Sports psychologist?
Sports psychologist.
Well, maybe a sports psychologist, sure. But like,
Right, but isn't that
Like an actual psychiatrist, like just for general life, would probably be a good thing to have.
Yeah, and like making sure Mrs. Lucic likes it here too, right? The other thing, the Oilers just let the people that come play here, especially free agents, rent a house in Windermere Phase 90 where they don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And they sit there.
And but you are like cut off from civilization at that point.
For
too.
sure. And you're so
Oh, yeah.
isolated. And the only ever time you see Edmontonians is when you're at Bloody Cactus Club and they're yelling at your husband to shoot.
Like, who do you think put Marner in with Marlowe? Do you think Marlowe went in there and was like, look, I want to take one of these young kids?
I think it naturally happened because Marlowe's that type of guy. But you see the effect he has on Marner and Matthews.
But this is another reason why keeping veterans around who are good guys are even more important. Yeah. If you're going to do it on a haphazard basis where it's like, you go live with Jason Smith and Taylor Hall lives with whoever.
Who did Taylor Hall live with?
By himself.
Leberly.
He lived with Eberle and
but
Luke Gazdick. Then Connor was there in his last year here.
It should be like protocol that a young guy has to go live with
a professional billet.
Yeah.
Mrs. Eberle told me this.
They've been living with billets for their whole junior career, right?
Mrs. Eberle, bless her heart, said to me, Wanye, which she'd call me, but for the purposes of this story, I don't understand why pro teams think that you only need a billet in junior. When these kids arrive and they're 18 with way more pressure on them than they've ever had before and money, they need help even more. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
And I guarantee
for the second time,
she's speaking
Leslie's a perfectly good middle name for a boy.
She's speaking that experience probably from the result of what happened to him here.
No question.
Jesus.
It was really interesting in talking to her, hearing like a hockey mom's take on the organization. And her whole thing was support, support, support. These kids need way more support than they're getting. Way more support, especially millennial kids who you're like, hey, you skate faster. In 1973, you'd walk up, put a cigarette out in his eye and punch him in the face if you're the coach. And that was considered good coaching. In this day and age, you're banning Fortnite and telling kids to get off Tinder. You look old and out of touch. And these kids tune out because they've all been training like pros since they were 8. And they haven't had a life ever like Tiger. So they're just like one trick ponies and their social skills aren't awesome. And their life skills are even less because they're used to people doing everything for them.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, that kind of makes me mad. Doesn't even make me mad. It just like shows straight incompetence. It just makes me go, God, like shake my head and roll my eyes.
It'd be interesting to know what other teams have for, like, we always mention the Barzell one, but I'd like to know what other teams are doing or if it's still kind of like,
in its infancy.
It's in its infancy. Like, to Chalmers' point, like, I don't know if you need, like, the team needs a psychiatrist, but like, you're intimidated to go see a psychiatrist because you're thinking you're sick or weak, and you have to be very vulnerable, which people aren't comfortable doing. It's having like billets or like ex-players, guys that are like room guys around the team, even
but
if they
closer
play
in age to the players.
Yeah, but like
these ex-Oilers that are hanging around now, they're all pushing 110.
Like Strudwick would be fantastic, right? Like
Shona and Struds could be a professional billet from here until the end of time.
Yeah, but like people like that, I know like there's a couple teams where like in Calgary they have Brian McGrattan. So like a guy who's like, well, like everyone knows he played. He was the enforcer, so there's a lot of bond and trust, even with the players who never played with him that are on the team. And he's around for the guys to go and have any kind of conversation with because he's got that level of respect with the room.
Well, and he also went off the rails and brought himself back.
Exactly.
He
So
brought
like,
himself
someone
back.
will be like, yeah, hey, like I was at a party last night and this happened.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll bet you older guys that used to play and that are out of the league for a couple of years would like that. Of
course they would.
bring
of course, gives them a sense of purpose.
They're so,
just
they're
as
so
much
used to being with the
benefit-
guys.
Yeah, it's important to both sides. It's fulfilling for both sides. But like they do it. I know LA's got Landon Myers or something like that. He's from around here. But
I bet you could bring 3X players back for $150,000
Well,
each.
probably
And for
don't even
the
have to
price
bring
of Paul Coffey, you could have 3 full-time life coaches sitting around.
Do you have to bring them back? They could already be here for all you know. Like Struds is a perfect one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He's got
there's
got a full house at this point.
Well, he's a busy guy, but like a guy of that ilk, like maybe they have to move here, or maybe they're already here. Like, but like if you retire as an Oiler and you were a good considered a good dude, I'd be like Oilers, I'd be offering him this role. Stay in Edmonton. Here's $150,000 a year.
They don't value character, and it drives me insane. Derek Roy, the only guy that Nail Yakupov ever got along with.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck you, Derek Roy. And in other news, we've lost Nail Yakupov to the sands of time. Like, I don't understand why they value the 1984 Oilers and nobody else ever in the history of the organization.
Well, for the same reason why they can't answer what is the culture.
All I know for sure is that it's an easy thing to do. The team could improve so many aspects, like Wanya said, on the ice. The players would feel good about themselves. They would play better. And in the end result is they'll look good. Much like what you'd get with a brand new suit from Indochino, Chalmers.
Well done.
Thank you. The way it works is you got to get yourself measured up. In 10 minutes or less, you can have your measurements loaded up into the website.
What's my inseam? Extra large, Mr. Chalmers.
Which way do you dress? Both ways. Both ways, depending what day it is. Get yourself measured up in any of their showrooms or online, and within 10 minutes, you've got everything you need to get yourself a wrinkle-free custom suit right to your door, Chalmers. You pick your style, customize. You want that flossy pink inside? You get that flossy pink inside. You want to go metallic blue? You go metallic blue.
Go on.
You pick your style, customize your suit, submit your order. Within 2 to 3 weeks, you will have a wrinkle-free suit popping right out of the box, right at your door. Jay needs a suit. He's going to head on down to Indochino, get measured up, and look as fresh as he ever has in his life.
It's
And
happening.
So will you.
It's happening.
Go to Indochino.com, check them out there, or at any of the many showrooms they have around North America. Get yourself a fresh suit. Feel better about yourself. Indochino.com. Wanya.
Is that feel better about yourself a bag milk tagline?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
You're doing really well. If I believed in suits or socks or having somebody else cut my hair, well, hell's bells, I'd be right over at Indochino.
Of course you
I'd
would.
tell them that a bag of milk sent me.
100% you would.
Well, and Bag Milk's segues are just as beautiful as an Indochino suit. It is the Indochino of segues.
That's why they want me doing it, you know?
Mhm.
That's why they want me doing it.
Yeah, you are the man for the job.
Uh-huh.
What if your body looks like a bag of milk?
Exactly. I've worked out.
Not yours.
Indochino knows how to
Kinda talking
conceal
about-
everything.
Can talk about the
All you need is 2 vests and a pocket watch with them cool chains
Right.
to distract the eye.
Yeah.
Indochino could even
9-piece
make
suits
that
is what
look
you
good.
need.
Take that, grapes. Coming for you, buddy. Style
Do you think they
icon.
make suits like grapes?
Sure.
Hey, sure.
They make you whatever you want.
Sure. Sure. Bring in your
Sure.
Bring in the drapes from your house. They'll turn that into a suit. You look great.
100%.
Sounds good.
Earlier this week, Wanye, did you hear? Our own Dustin Nielsen broke a little rumor that caused some mayhem on the Twitter
I
machine.
saw that.
According to Dustin Nielsen, on April the 10th, I've heard from 2 different sources that Keith Gretzky has already been told he will not be getting the general manager's position.
Why bring him out of the press conference?
It's a weird thing. So Dusty tweeted that. Everybody was freaking out, and I'm texting him back and forth. And he said, a couple of weeks ago, I heard this. I just kind of put it in my pocket. And he's like, whatever. Who knows what happens? And then I got it again today from a different source. And he's like, now I'm all in. I trust it. I was like, should I put it on the website? He's like, you should definitely put it on the website.
Oh, that's cool. You're involved. You're seeing how the sausage is getting made.
So the question then, as Jay just asked, why parade him around in front of the media as the interim, possibly the future GM? Is it because Bob Nicholson can't help himself from saying weird things in front of the press and that Keith Gretzky is there to go, ah?
I'd have preferred they sent Wayne.
Well, I'd listen to Wayne. Sure.
Exactly.
Why not? Although Keith Gretzky, to be fair, handled himself quite well.
He was fine, but like
I was
the
embarrassed for him.
It was
sure.
awkward because he like Bob is saying how he's interviewing and looking for candidates and right in front of Keith, and Keith has to talk about how, well, if I had got the job. It was just weird.
It's like bringing your side chick on a Tinder date. You know what I'm saying, Chalmers? You're like, this one ain't doing it. What do you got?
It's exactly
It's
like
exactly like that.
yeah.
It is odd, though, if you believe Dusty, and I do, that the Oilers will get a new GM, and it won't be a Gretzky that fixes this team, I should say.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because just the optics of hiring internally right now is not good. So good on them for at least being self-aware enough not to do that. But you know, at the same time, like they knew going into that press conference that was their decision because Dusty even heard it few weeks before. So like, it just shows like how tone deaf or I don't know, arrogant or just like how not with it they are to like do things like that.
Like what must Keith Gretzky be thinking? He's just being a company man. He's like, I guess I'll sit out here and.
I feel bad for Keith Gretzky because there is a train of thought that says if there's 150 people in the world who could run an NHL team, Keith Gretzky's probably one of them. Given how long he'd been in the program in Boston and Phoenix, right?
Yep.
I remember reading the Gretzky book. He said, if my brothers Glenn and Keith had a last name of Smith, they'd have a way easier life. Because they're my brothers, people have been shitting on them since they were little. People used to slash them in minor hockey harder than ever because they were trying to slash the Gretzky kid. And like, to be Keith Gretzky, to be this close to the job you've ostensibly been working towards since you ended your career at the San Diego Gulls, I believe, of the IHL or something. There was that photo we posted a long time ago.
Oh,
it looks just like Wayne.
Career, yeah.
It's wearing the same gear. You're this close, and then it's like, nope, nepotism has ruined the Oilers, and you're not allowed to take one step further. I would be so pissed.
And what's the worst is he could actually be like a valid candidate for this job and like actually do a good job.
Yep.
But for the first time now, they're going to be like, we can't keep doing this type of thing where people are getting jobs because of who they know.
But this is
and it's going to ruin it for somebody. And so like all the times that it's been a bad decision,
Paul Messier, you're a scout.
the first time it could be a good decision, which we don't know,
Yeah.
it's ruined.
This is the situation they created. Like it's an absolute mess.
And if Keith Gretzky is the right guy, they didn't let him go out and face the hordes and make a case for himself. Well, just a sec, Keith. We don't know which way we're going to go there. So if you're asked any questions directly, I need you to be cagey and not divulge any information. So he has the ear of Oilers fans for a shining window of time. And he can't even say, like, if I'm back here as GM next year, here's the game plan. Bing, 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 bing.
That would have been going rogue. He might have got the fans on board.
Yeah, you
Even though
should have actually.
He might have been better off.
Yeah. Get us on your side. We're the important ones.
They desperately need somebody on their side right now with the Oilers fans.
Yeah, they don't have it right now, and this is what they've done.
One of my favorite things to do lately is anytime the Oilers tweet anything,
just read the replies.
Reading the replies.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so fun. Just it's gotten to a point where it's not that people don't care, because we do. The fans, I mean. It's that they've gotten to a point where they're just like, okay, yeah, show me.
Everybody's talked out, I feel.
Yes.
I feel like the Ross Creeks of the world. You know that guy?
Of course.
I love that guy. He's hilarious. You're an Oilers fan, Ross Creek, if you're listening. You might hide behind being a Flames fan who's just interested in the Oilers for their demise. Not true. You've tweeted more about the Oilers than almost anybody on the internet. Those types of guys who always have a very long, well thought out diatribe about anything have checked out. And when you look at the tweets now, it's mostly just, I give up gifts. Hey, Bag Milk? Like it's
100%. We had a question in the mailbag this morning, and I thought it was pretty telling from a woman her and her husband just gave up their season tickets after 12 years. And her question was
just Cheryl Stewart?
No, but she had a great story in one of Gregor's last articles.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fantastic. But her question to us was, I spend $10,000 a year on tickets and have for 10 years. What should I do with the money this year? And everybody's just like, man, you should do something that's as far away from the Oilers as possible. Go on a trip.
Go to see Stavanger Oilers.
For $10,000, you could do you can go anywhere.
You could take two people on a Disney cruise.
Yeah. that sounds lovely.
Yeah, you got a little bitterness behind that one.
Yeah.
You could hire Jean-Claude.
I might or might not be going on a Disney cruise in the next year.
For 10 grand.
I don't want to talk about it.
And you have Oilers tickets.
Hey, man.
Baller.
No, I don't, because I'm going on a Disney cruise.
Well, if she has not, like, if someone could put away 10 grand a year for 20 years, they would retire a millionaire.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, if my math is correct, 10,000 times 12 is about $200 million.
At least.
Yeah, no.
That is a lot of money to spend on some terrible hockey teams. Terrible. So I just thought it was a really interesting question to come in to be like, this is what I've done for 12 years. What should I do with all my extra money?
Or maybe support the local economy that will, be respectful of your support.
Buy every single Oil Kings ticket.
Yeah. Come on down a little brick, have 3,000
I was going to say it, but I didn't want.
Yeah,
you guys
but
said
yeah,
as
but
far
that's-
away from Oilers
Your
as you can.
support, you're still
That's like
supporting the
the
team.
step down.
Yeah, same team.
I would buy a box. I'd buy 12 boxes at the Prospects games, and then still go on a Disney cruise.
Dude, are we losing them?
I didn't realize it was this serious. Like last week,
Prospects?
I was talking to them. They're like, yeah, we're going to bat. Well, pardon the pun, with the city to renew the lease after they said they wouldn't. But
Okay, what's
they've
going on?
recently
What's going
released
on?
something today. I haven't
don't
read
pay
it yet.
attention. Talk. What's going on?
Well, I
buddy's up
heard
in arms.
rumblings about like a week ago on our group chat that the Prospects were not getting renewed, and
As a tenant in the building?
as a tenant in the building, and I could be totally wrong.
Because isn't there something they want to have an affiliated team back here, right? With the Angels or something?
Okay,
They want to bring the
I-
Trappers back, essentially.
that would
a
be
AAA team?
amazing.
Yeah.
Who, the Oil do?
No, I don't think it's the Oilers, but that building
Yes.
specifically.
The better the ball here, the better our lives are all going to be when
I
we realize that we
disagree.
have somewhat good ball. You like the Prospects? I know I liked
It's
it too.
irrelevant, the baseball on the field.
I
As
just
long
like
as
getting-
there's like a cheap beer and a nice hot dog. And
Amen.
We have,
I do
t-shirt
enjoy
cannon.
Prospects.
That was one of my
I love
favorite,
the Prospects.
That was one of my favorite nights of the summer
Yeah,
last summer.
I
was
love
when we went to the Prospects.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
But
And
were
I
you
would
like,
love
oh,
to
gee
take-
whiz, that second baseman sure doesn't have the hustle required to play effective baseball? Who cares?
His whip.
When I felt like I could jump out and play first better than the dude that was on first, yeah, it kind of got to me a little. But then the beers kicked in.
True.
The peanuts were cracking.
Who do we see, Jay, when the outfielder, the pitcher switched?
Oh yeah, because
And Jay's like, oh, this is Bush League.
their bullpen's like two people deep, so they're getting their asses handed to them. So then all of a sudden you see the shortstop pitch, and then he moves up to center field. Center field comes in pitch. They just kept swapping positions.
Yeah.
It was like playing minor leagues or minor league. Yeah,
Softball.
so no, but as a kid,
Beer leagues.
little league,
Beer leagues as a kid, eh, Chalmers?
beer
No,
leagues
but
are
I
good.
was trying, like, it's more like beer leagues.
T-ball.
Adds another layer of intrigue to it, though.
I hope the Prospects don't leave. If they, I can't
I just
imagine
want to
if
have
they,
baseball there.
If they
Well, they've
leave.
been around for a while. They've just played at a different park, then they moved to Telus or Remax Field. So, I hope they stay. If they're bringing in AAA ball, that puts me in a conundrum. I would cheer for both.
It won't be for this season though, so they must have one more season left.
They have this season, I think, and after that,
Because I know that they pitched.
We
Like
should pump them and try to get like just do our whatever we can from the ground up. Try to like get people aware.
like the
is
game
a
that
hell-
Mandrick brought like literally 1,000 people to the game.
yeah,
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we,
handing it
uh,
out to charities.
yeah.
Oh, so you guys have
And
already
the
been doing this.
Prospects
Oh, dear.
guy looked and we're like, behold, 1,000 extra people in the building. And he was like,
We don't have the staff for that.
no.
We're doing with
Didn't
Oodle
give-
Noodle. We're doing some work with them, and we're going to be giving out 2-for-1 tickets with every delivery order sent out. So over the summer, that's like 60,000 orders. So
Put a personal message from yourself, be like,
hopefully all of them get redeemed. Problem
Please
solved.
don't throw these away. Go to the game.
The 2-for-1.
Me.
They're already $10 a ticket anyway.
Yes.
So
It's
now
me,
two of you come for
Commissioner
$10.
Jay. Did you know that the movie in the Igloo wasn't actually Face Off? By the way, 2-for-1 Prospects.
Oh,
According to a report that just came out in the Edmonton Journal a couple of days ago, according to a report prepared by administration, the Prospects are not fulfilling the terms of its lease, but they took exception to that and said that the city has put up roadblocks to doing things like opening a restaurant in the facility. In February, the team tried to get a jump start on the proposals process by offering to pay $3 million in upgrades to the field in exchange for a 25-year lease. Originally, the club became the main tenant of the facility in 2013 after the Edmonton Capitals suspended operations.
I have nothing to say about that.
All I know is we want ball.
It's just such a beautiful park in
Yeah.
a great location.
Yeah.
It would be a shame for that place to go to waste.
Yeah, Squire and I are alive for 4 consecutive summers. 'Cause
I've-
we didn't know how to cook. We
Yeah.
lived right down the street.
I have consumed a lot of hot dogs in that stadium, yeah, I don't want it to go away. I need my when summer hits on a nice 25 plus degree night, cold beer in one hand, stadium dog in the other.
Couple of mistresses on either knee.
Yeah, just a harem of women around me. It's wonderful.
Over our
Prospects,
partnership with the Prospects, there's been nothing better than sitting in the box, just kind of like hanging out, watching the game. Great way to spend the night, afternoon, weekend, whatever.
Amazing nights.
Yeah, so I hope the best for them. Hope they can stay or make it work. Or
Or a better team comes in and makes it work better.
Yeah.
Right? All right, boys. Best and the worst of the week. Let's make Jared happy. Tell him some stuff. Chalmers?
We haven't done a best and the worst in
Months. Chalmers hasn't been here.
Okay, so I'll do my best first then.
Yeah,
My best is Chris Davis from the Baltimore Orioles.
of course. Oh yeah, he's
From
the
the
Toby
start-
Reader of baseball.
From the start. So he's coming off a couple years ago, or maybe even last year, he won the batting title. He went 62 consecutive at-bats with an 0 for 54. Yes, with a 0.71 batting average.
Is that like generationally terrible?
It is. It was getting there. It was just about there. On Saturday, he stepped up and in a 9-5 victory against the Boston Red Sox had 3 hits. So I'm proud of my namesake, Chris Davis. It's 0 for 54. Like that had to have been getting in his head. Like I just can't even imagine what he's going through.
Still made 12 mil.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My worst. You want me to do my worst too?
Sure.
My worst was watching the security guard almost take Tiger Woods out on Saturday.
What was this?
So Tiger Woods is in the crowd because he hit an errant tee shot, and all the patrons
What
are
hole?
around him. I don't even know what could have been the 8th, 10th. It doesn't matter.
Front 9?
Front 9, I think. Yeah. So he's off, and all the security guards are standing there around him. And as is when a player hits the ball, the patrons like to run with him or ahead of Tiger or just see where the ball went. Well, this security guard decided to try to protect Tiger in a really clumsily way. And as he gets close to Tiger, he slips and puts a foot out as if he's like trying to stop these people, but ends up soccer tackling him.
It looks
And,
like he went. It looks like he tried to take him out.
Soccer tackle him. And he kicks him, and Tiger doesn't see it. And you know when you like kick somebody's feet from
Did he
behind
go
to trip
down?
him? No, he didn't.
No, but he was. Yeah,
He
kind of
was
did
limping.
Like,
It looked like it could have been a sprained ankle, maybe.
Damn.
And it was just embarrassing. And that guy will not have another job.
Can you imagine like
wow.
Tiger Woods
Imagine
miraculously
if it
coming
hurt
back,
him. Like, oh my
derailed?
god,
it would have been
he'd be the
unbelievable.
next Steve Bartman.
That guy almost, yes. Yeah,
Well done.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is my worst of the weekend. That guy.
That guy.
I'm surprised his name hasn't come out actually, and I'm surprised
Tiger
he's not
won.
all over.
It's because he won and didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
If he got hurt, oof, yikes.
Do the Bartman. Bag milk, best and worst.
Best of the week. Very easy for me. I want to wish a very happy 26th birthday to Ryan Nugent Hopkins. You did it, buddy.
Can you believe he's
Personal
only
best.
26?
Well, we were talking about that on ON Radio on Friday. Nuge is 26. Somehow Sam Gagne is not 30 yet.
Sam Gagne looks 30 plus.
29 with 28 years in the league.
Both of those guys have seen some shit. I was texting with Dusty the other day. This will be Nuge's 8th head coach. We're talking about things going on with the Edmonton Oilers. He is 26. This will be his 8th head coach going into next year. Happy birthday, Nuge.
Happy birthday.
God, love you.
Those checks are still clearing, buddy. You'll be all right.
Amen.
You'll be all right. Worst of the week?
Worst of the week, I just miss Connor.
Yeah.
I miss Connor doing Connor things.
So you needed that.
My last
Picture.
memory of him was not very nice. I was very drunk at the Saddle Dome, and he went crashing into the post and did not move, and I never want to see that again, ever. Connor, I miss you. Feel better.
My last memory of him is seeing him in public about 10 feet away from him, and he looked happy and he was walking. That's all that mattered.
His
Anyways.
legs are better than ours.
He's the Connor McDavid of healing.
I didn't even know there was such thing as a PCL. I thought that was just
I thought he was named to the construction
construction.
company's
yeah.
Well, a little
the director of PCL.
sponsorship opportunity there for PCL. You fix that up.
My turn.
Yeah.
Best of the week was we had a little ceremony today with another project we're working on. We broke ground. We had our sod turning ceremony for our next River Valley Company project, where we're building a 2.5-story building with a restaurant and pub, and an office and Airbnb units on the top. Very exciting. 2.5 years, we've been working on this to have this become a reality. Very exciting. Which was ultra cool. What we did today is, all the land we're on is Indigenous, but River Valley specifically has got a lot of ties to Indigenous history. Is we had a chief come out and we did a smudging. So he's lighting these special leaves, and we had this like little smoke scent going. And we sat down as a team in a circle, and we smoked a peace pipe, and we announced our intentions to the creator so they can be imprinted on the ground. And it was just like a real like warm and fuzzy kind of cool moment.
Have you ever done one of those before, Smudge?
No.
It's super cool. Yeah, I did one a couple in high school actually. It's super neat. Really cool experience.
And the guy, I apologize, I don't know his name.
Louis Cardinal.
He's like the Kofi Annan of Indigenous tribes.
Oh, he's like been to the UN.
Like he's like
there.
high up.
Like, this is a big deal.
And your old boy Wanye is sitting on his right hand in the old peace pipe.
Wicked.
Like that was a very interesting experience. I felt as though, because you have to close your eyes, you have to make intentions, and it's very interesting. I felt like all the houses were gone.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to somebody else who was in the circle, they were like, man, that was so weird. It felt like all the houses around us were gone. And then a third person walked up to us and went, man, we were doing that. I felt like we weren't in the middle of all the houses. I felt like they were all gone. Like, for sure, I experienced something doing that.
Yeah. No, like
1,000%.
The power of the circle,
pipe,
right?
Eh?
No, man. It was
how did it
interesting.
taste though? What did it taste like?
Tobacco.
It's like
that's
but like a different type of
It
tobacco.
was ceremonial tobacco.
Yeah,
I
like
could
it
read
had it smelled amazing.
Yeah.
I want to do a smudging.
Oh man, it was a very cool experience.
Yeah. And then we got to smoke the peace pipe. It goes around 4 times and eat the berries 4 times. And
You guys, super cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Well, my best of the week, Chalmers being here. I don't know what more we need to do to get you to come on this motherfucker.
I just have to be in town.
Hey man.
Well,
I get it. You're very busy.
You got
know who
Disney
else
cruises.
is busy? Hitler.
Oh, what?
And you know what happened with Hitler?
What?
Rode the country right into the ground. You're not Hitler, Chalmers. I just wanted to bring up
God.
with like a historical note how evil you are to
Yes.
not come on your own podcast with your friends who miss you.
Trust me, I missed it too.
And you're in Fairmont and you're not in Nazi Germany in 1933. You're not Hitler, but I miss you. And come on this damn show.
well, and
Thank you.
And no Oil Kings talk. Like they're in the Eastern
Who are
Conference
you?
Final.
I
Like,
just
I thought you were a
Swept
fan.
Calgary.
Yeah, they did. They sure did whoop him. And my boy Trey, I mean, he's gonna take us. We're gonna see him.
I have a feeling PA is going to.
we should go to it.
Fred-
We should go to
Fred-
it. You want to go to an Oil Kings play?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do it.
absolutely.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
do
like
it.
you just tell me when.
Let's go. I don't know when the schedule is. I don't know who's playing who. I was at the smudging earlier. The worst of the week is these goddamn Game of Thrones losers. I am sick and tired of
Oh, was
going
that a
on
good day,
Twitter
boys?
and hearing everybody be like, can you believe it? I'm getting ready for Game of Thrones. You are not getting ready for Game of Thrones. You don't have to get ready to watch fictional television. The shit is already written. The outcome is known. You are embarrassing
The
yourself.
outcome is not known.
To the writers of the show, it is.
Well, to them, but we still have to watch it.
I just feel like it's so much work to get into that show. I don't want homework when I'm watching TV.
Oh.
So it is, and that's exactly what some people that I am around, like for instance, my wife wanted to get into it. Well, she couldn't. I mean, it's 7 seasons. I tried to rewatch the whole thing, like from beginning to end, and I started about a month ago, and I couldn't do it.
I don't like shows with rape. Straight up. It
Well,
is
they don't
disturbing to me.
Show it.
They show all sorts of shit on that show.
They show
I'm told.
consensual sex. They don't show rapings.
Well, I heard there was. I heard there's all sorts of freaky.
There's talk of it. Yeah.
There's a lot of.
I don't
freaky
appreciate
stuff.
that type of garbage.
Oh, but it is one of the best shows.
I believe it.
Ever.
You loser.
Now, last night's episode, which I guess I will mildly say is my worst of the week. I know they're trying to set up for the season, but like there's only 6 episodes and a lot of shit needs to happen. And so they just kind of like.
Is it like the last season of Boardwalk Empire? Remember how that was just slow as
Yeah, it was
molasses?
slow. So yeah,
And then like in 10 minutes.
So
the
they
show ended?
kind of set some things up.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. At the end of last season, so I watched that.
Don't be doing that.
Wait, we can't do that at all.
We only have 12 listeners. We can't piss one
Okay.
off.
Well, Jon Snow was supposed to be told something, and how long does he have to be in the same room with the person that knows before he tells them? Was I the only one?
Don't look at Jared.
We're
He's
like a
one of
week
us that
together.
has sex
Jared
with women.
is-
So he
this
doesn't care.
This is the most important thing I need to tell him. Oh, we'll sit in the same castle for a week, but I won't tell him until the.
Aw, man. Fiction. Am I right?
He was busy with.
He wasn't
Khaleesi.
busy with anything. He was just sitting there.
Well, that's all he does is sit.
Yeah.
Not John. He's
If I'm
out
being
there.
honest, I prefer the dog dragon from Neverending Story.
Oh, How dare you?
Real Life Podcast. See you next week.
Excuse me there. I just lost my train of thought.